watching Let's Chat.
With each passing day, you're getting closer and closer and closer to possibly being able to get Social Security. You've been paying into it all of your life. When do you get some out? Ryan Womack is here, and Ryan, of course, is with Warren and Griffin. Ryan, good to see you. Social Security disability, a lot of people think they have to wait until they're 65 years old to collect the first cent. Not the case.
Not the case, and thanks for having me, Chip. It's been too long. Yeah, so what I do Social Security disability. So you may be younger than the age of 65. If you have some impairments or disability that's preventing you to work full-time for a year or anticipation of being a year, then I can help you get those disability benefits sooner rather than later.
Why does it behoove us to contact you when it's time to start navigating down that road as opposed to trying to do it all ourselves?
Yeah, so Social Security disability, it's very difficult to obtain and to win. The fact of the matter is most folks get denied when they apply for Social Security disability. In fact, on your initial application, about 65% of those folks are actually denied. And then
why?
Well, the rules that are set up for Social Security disability that are in place, you have to meet certain criteria in order to prevail. And a lot of folks don't understand or know those rules. And so what attorneys do is they'll help you try to navigate that avenue. And truly the rules are just strict in terms of winning.
What do you think the biggest misconception is when it comes to drawing Social Security disability?
I think the biggest misconception that most folks have is that it's just easy to win, that folks are walking around that are not disabled, that are winning these cases, and it's just not further from the truth. Most people are denied, and it's difficult to get and it's difficult to obtain, which is why I believe an attorney is very helpful in those circumstances.
Someone comes to you and says, Ryan, I've applied, I've been denied. What is the first step you as an attorney will take with them?
Sure, so if they've already applied, if they've done the initial application and they've been denied, the next step for us will be to appeal that decision to go to what's called a reconsideration level. That next step is taken by the same office that denied them the first time, so almost 90% of those folks are denied. The good news is we would be here for those folks and do a hearing, which is they would go with me before an administrative law judge, and we're much more successful in those types of circumstances.
Because of COVID, these administrative hearings, they seem to be getting further and further down the calendar because Social Security is not accepting walk-in people like they used to, correct?
You're right. It has become almost kind of a walk of faith in going through this process. I tell my clients from the initial outset, from the initial application, it could be 2 years before they get an ultimate decision in the case. We've actually started doing a lot of these hearings by telephone, by video now, and so things have slowed down substantially. Our hope is that we can help folks from the initial application moving forward to try to get them approved as quickly as possible.
Give me an example of some of the disabilities, some of the physical disabilities that one of your clients might have that maybe Social Security hasn't taken into consideration.
Sure, it could be something as simple as COPD. That could be something that someone has that they're having difficulty breathing, they're having difficulty walking for a certain period of time. Maybe it's difficult for them to sit for a certain period of time or stand for a certain period of time. It's interesting because Social Security has set up these rules where if they're unable to do certain things, as simple as sitting or standing or walking, they may be approved for disability.
And at what rate will they be approved for? Is it calculated like the other Social Security earnings are?
Yeah, so it may depend upon how much you've paid into the system. There's different types of Social Security. There's SSDI, where if you've worked consecutively 5 out of the last 10 years, they'll look at some of your earnings and your work credits. There's also SSI, which is not based upon those work credits. It's mainly based upon folks that have lower income, designed more as economic security for those types of people.
And that should give you several reasons right there why you need to consult with and hire an attorney when it comes to navigating these waters. They can be very muddy indeed. And again, keep in mind, as Ryan said, it could take up to 2 years for you to get either approved or disapproved. So it's best to go ahead and take advantage of this as soon as possible if you think the need arises. Ryan Womack, thanks so much for joining us. We do hope you will come back. Don't make it so long.
Thanks for having me.
Deal. All right. Get in touch with Ryan and the great folks at Warren and Griffin. They are downtown on Georgia Avenue. The website, warrenandgriffin.com. That's warrenandgriffin.com. Stick around. We have much more of Let's Chat coming up right after this quick commercial break.